Let me tell you about Ahab, the Arab, the sheik of the burning sands. He had emeralds and rubies just a-dripping off of him, and a ring on every finger of his hand. He wore a big old turban wrapped around his head and a scimitar by his side. And every evening about midnight he'd jump on his camel named Clyde and ride silently through the night to the Sultan's tent, where he would secretly meet up with Fatima of the Seven Veils, the swingin'est #1 dancer in the Sultan's whole harem. Cause like him and her had a thing going, you know, and they'd been carrying on for some time now behind the Sultan's back. And you could hear him talk to his camel as he rode out across the dunes. His voice would cut through the still night desert air, and he'd say, oh yeah, 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 oh yeah, 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 which is Aramaic for whoa, babies, and Clyde say, well, he brought his camel to a screeching halt in the rear of Fatima's tent, jumped off Clyde, snuck around the corner, and into the tent he went. There he saw Fatima laying on a zebra skin rug with rings on her fingers and bells on her toes and a bone in her nose, ho ho. There she was, friends and neighbors, laying there in all her radiant beauty, eating on a raisin and a grape and an apricot and a pomegranate, a bowl of chitterlings, 2 bananas, 3 Hershey bars, and sipping on an ROC Coca-Cola, listening to her transistor, watching the Grand Ole Opry, and reading Mad Magazine while she sung Does Your Chewing Gum Lose Its Flavor? And Ahab walk up to her and he say, oh yeah, 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 oh yeah, 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 which is Aramaic for let's twist again like we did last summer, babies. And she'd say, crazy, baby. All of a sudden the Sultan walked in. Ahab knew that this was the end. Him and Fatima was caught by surprise, and the Sultan had fire flashing out of his eyes. Well, the Sultan charged at Ahab, intending to make a dent in his head, but he fled with Fatima, and out of the tent they went. They jumped on Clyde and started to ride, cutting out across the sand with the Sultan's whole army in hot pursuit. On and on they ran. Well, to make a long story short, they got away, cause there wasn't no animal alive what could keep up with Clyde once he got started, cause he was the swiftest steed on the old desert, babies. And they made it across the border where Ahab hopped all his rubies and emeralds, and they bought him a swinging little split level pad and lived happy ever after. Yeah, and that's the story about Ahab, the Arab, the sheik of the burning sands.
It's astounding. Time is fleeting. Madness takes its toll. But listen closely.
Not for very much longer.
I've got to keep control.
I remember doing the time war, drinking those moments when the blackness would hit me and the void would be calling. Let's do the time war again. Let's do the time war again.
It's just a jump to the left. With your hands on your hips.
You're bringing me